Welcome back, everyone, to the Sports Minorities Podcast, your home for not-so-expert analysis, plenty of shit-talking, and Tom Brady suddenly being Tom Brady again, right? I'm your host and resident Titans fan and proud alum of the back-to-back Conference USA champion UTSA Roadrunners. I'm JC. Joining me this week are...
You shouldn't be Nostradamus Chicken Wing, because it's not a Linz Frank. Shut your fucking mouth. Okay, let me have this. Jimmy G is taking us to the promised land. That's all I'm saying. Done.
Can we trade him? Can we? Sorry, go ahead.
This is Nori, resident Giants fan, and I don't know how somehow we turned a tie what looks like a loss. So it's embarrassing, fucking embarrassing.
Hey, what's up? This is Rob, your resident Bucks fan, who's hoping to clinch the worst division in football. So yeah, how y'all doing?
When did the Bucks move to the AFC South?
Wow, you did.
I digress.
DJ here, very happy Cowboys fan. Today we're going to have another great edition of showcasing how inept the Broncos offense is, starring Russell Wilson and Nathaniel I Can't Fucking Hack It. Let's ride, JC.
All right.
Hey, don't be that team that gives him these 12 touchdowns. That's all I'm saying. Don't be that team.
Yeah, we have to get 9, 10, and 11 first.
Yep.
Yeah, dude, come on.
Well, this is a special episode of the Sports Minorities Podcast. We're going to have our first interview, guys. Joining us for this week's episode is Tremaine Spears. Tremaine, say hello, man.
How you doing?
So, for those who are not familiar with Tremaine, he is a baseball player. Most recently played at Southern University, prior to that, University of Louisiana, and is currently in a draft league right now. But really, just I kind of want to do this a bit. I've been wanting to do this on the podcast as well, just kind of getting interviews with athletes. I know Nori and everyone's been trying to get Mike White since he was a third string quarterback for the Jets, but potentially
tweeting that man every day.
Yes,
tweeting him every day.
But Tremaine, you have a unique perspective. Of course, you came up, you were recruited, you played at 2 universities, one of which was an HBCU. And kind of wanted to really just kind of get your backstory. So obviously you grew up playing baseball. We'll start first there. Who your favorite team was, and what were some of the players you idolized growing up?
So I started playing baseball when I was 7 years old after we moved up to Pine from New Orleans. So started off playing baseball, was really terrible. I actually got into watching baseball with my grandpa, and he was a big Yankees fan. So I always liked to bet against my grandpa. And this was, if I'm correct, this was a series that Boston was down 3-0 to the Yankees, and they came back. So ever since then, I was a Boston fan. Back when they had
2004.
Manny Ramirez and David Ortiz.
Yeah. And we got a Yankees fan on this podcast, too, so I'm sure he loves hearing that. But
I mean, they can't do nothing in the postseason anyway.
It's true. It's true.
Hey, good job on signing Judge, though.
Yeah. No, I'm sure 9 years is great. 9 years of mediocrity. Now I might as well just be a Cowboys fan. Just sign up for more mediocrity. Good. Who needs the World Series, right? It's okay. I'll just put on my Blu-rays. It's fine.
It's okay. Stanton to hold down left field for you still.
Oh
for
yeah,
about 50 games in the season.
Yeah. Stanton, the epitome of health. Absolutely. Yeah.
But throughout high school, I started really getting recruited. I'd say my sophomore year, played a little showcase baseball. Not like how I was talking to somebody the other day. Like showcase baseball now is completely different from where I played. Like we would go to colleges, play Friday, Saturday, Sunday, go home. Now I see that people are leaving on Tuesday and playing Wednesday through Sunday, going back home, and then doing it all over the next week for 8 weeks. But like that to me is insane. What baseball has become in the summer, like that you play more games in the summer than you do in high school ball. Like you can't tell me all those games. But just going back to that, playing baseball. I played at UL my sophomore summer, and that's really where I got my first look at with them. And played well there. Hit a couple home runs there. After that, went and played at ULM, Southeastern. Went and played Mississippi. Flew up to Atlanta to play, and I played with Team USA. So
Nice.
in Louisiana, I went on a visit to Southeastern, ULM. South Al gave me a call, and then it was Lafayette, and I committed to Lafayette before my junior season.
What was it about? Well, Lafayette. It's University of Louisiana now, but it was Louisiana Lafayette back then, I believe, when you were recruited. What was it about that school that separated it from the other ones that recruited you?
I don't know if y'all know who this guy is, but his name is Tony Robichaux. So if you don't know anything about Tony Robichaux, go look him up after this podcast. One of the best people, best person you'll ever meet. Well, Coach Robe, he was a guy that cared more about you as a person than he did as a baseball player. But like that's how he tends to get everything out of the guys that he coached. When I got to Lafayette, like it was more about making sure we handled our business, dotted our I's, crossed our T's, versus being a flashy team and this type of gear or something like that. Like he was more worried about you as a person, making sure you're handling your business off the field.
Obviously, you got to travel a lot, played some big facilities. Ultimately, why did you decide to transfer to Southern? I believe it was a grad transfer year, right? You graduated and they were able to transfer. Yeah.
So throughout my career at Lafayette, my junior year, Coach Robichaux actually died of a heart attack.
Oh man.
So after he passed, we came in. Matt Deggs came in. Me and Coach Deggs at times really didn't see eye to eye. And after our meeting, we decided for both of us that like it was probably best for me to go somewhere else to play. So, and that was the COVID year when everything got shut down. So it was really limited on where we could go because they didn't gave everybody an extra year back. Guys hit the transfer portal before we had our exit meetings at Lafayette. So a lot of teams were full. Like I actually talked to Carrick Jackson, who's the head coach at Memphis now, but he's the one that originally started the MLB Draft League. But while he was at Southern, me and him had a talk. And really, it's what sold me to come to Southern was Carrick, because Carrick had really all the mannerisms and, I guess, personality that Coach Robe had. Like when it comes to really caring about you as a person before being a baseball player.
Right, for sure. Was there any other places you looked at besides Southern?
I was looking at Kaiser University, Missouri Southern, and I wanted to go to Western Florida as well. I want to say Western Florida is a D2 school, but if you look at their facilities, you wouldn't know it. I want to say Western Florida a couple years ago came here to Louisiana and beat McNeese in football, actually.
Nice. I mean, Nice is no pushover, too. That's a good school.
No.
Especially. Yeah. All right, so 2 years at Southern. I believe y'all won the SWAC championship back-to-back in baseball.
They won it in 19. I wasn't there for 19. They didn't play it in 20, and we won it in 21. And we lost the championship last year in 14 innings. That's right. Like I said, last season.
Hell of a run, man. But leaving Southern, obviously you're in the draft league now. So you have a unique perspective in that you got to see college at, just a D1 mid-major level, and then you see it in HBCU. And a lot of the news that's come out recently has been about Deion Sanders. He was the coach the last few years at Jackson State on the football program. And I'm sure you've heard about it. He highlighted a lot of things that the HBCU doesn't have that other big colleges have. And
yes,
in your experience, would you say that's true?
100%. I mean, let's honestly, like I went and did my research for it. At Louisiana, we have batting cages. I think it's like 4 cages down the right field line. You got 2 hitting tunnels to bring on the field. You got plenty of bullpens for both sides. Locker room, numerous amount of jerseys, unlimited batting gloves. The amount of stuff that you get is not even comparable on top of what they do for the athletes. When I was at Lafayette, I don't think I had to pay for a meal throughout the week. The only thing I worried about was Saturday and Sunday. Like they made sure they fed us all the time. We had a protein that we needed. We had dietitians, our strength coach in there. Like it was ran just like any other program that you would think. Like if you go to LSU, it was ran just like that. But you had everything in there that was needed. At the time when I first got to UL, I think we had like the biggest training room, and then LSU built another one to take over.
Of course.
Yeah. But like it's like going into the training room, like you have like I want to say it was 8 head trainers, and then you have student helpers all around us able to help you. Versus we come to Southern, where, and this is the thing that still blows my mind, that Southern's won 28 conference championships, and we're still hitting underneath the bridge. Like we don't even have anywhere for us to really hit, and it's technically that's public property right there for where we hit at.
Yeah.
Like things like that. Like we need to get our backstop and net fixed, but those I don't think anybody really values the baseball team as they should, considering since I've been here, I think we're the only team that's won the championship.
Yeah, Southern most recently, of course, football just lost to Jackson State for the SWAC championship. But yeah, the baseball team has been the most successful. Obviously, when people think Southern, most of the time they think of the band. It's just, Grambling State, the big Southern Classic. Grambling State versus Southern, right?
Yeah.
I guess my thought, too, is, like, what are some of the other things? Like, you've been able to travel around other places. And how is the culture, though, very different among, like, the teams in the HBCUs versus, like, some of the other schools?
I'll say at a HBCU, they let you be yourself. It's not like, I can tell you this, at Lafayette, especially when Matt Deggs got there, it was the fact of you had to fit a mold. And if you didn't fit the mold or the system that was put in, you're not there. Versus in an HBCU, is you have the freedom to be yourself. At times, like, we got to pull people back and, like, lock in and be focused with things. But to the fact of you get to be who you are as a person, that lets things, to me, it lets it fly. I'm not looking over my shoulder depending on, oh, maybe I can't do that just because this doesn't fit our mold as a team, But the one thing I will say, like at Lafayette, it was a lot stricter. 12:45 early work, man. You're on the field at 12:45. It says optional. Don't mean it's optional.
Well, you're on scholarship, right? You better be there, right? That's kind of the thing.
Yeah, I mean, scholarship or not, you better be there. And I mean, but like that's the thing. That's why teams like that are successful, though, in my opinion, because it's not really the systematic part, but it's the structure that they were built upon. Like UL does a whole lot of like SEAL training, and like I said, it's very strict. Where like we had rules: no earrings on campus, no hats on campus, no flip flops on campus, and you don't wear a baseball shirt on campus. Why? Because baseball is not your identity. So like that was the things that, like I said, that we really focused on being better people than anything. Or in being presentable in class. Like we weren't allowed to sit in the back of the class. We're in the front 2 rows every time.
Right. Which you hear that a lot with coaches now in every level. But a lot of what you describe sounds like some of the things that Deion, Coach Prime, was bringing to Jackson State. Dressing nice, not getting into trouble. How do you feel the impact of what he did? Did it shed a light on more on what the HBCUs brought? Like, was it a positive or a negative influence, you think?
I think it was a positive. The thing that really gets me about this whole situation is how people are mad at him leaving. Which I'll get into that in a little bit. But when it comes to Deion, he's brought a platform to HBCU. Because we all knew about the SWAC, but nobody really valued the SWAC like they do now. But nobody brought the platform that he did and brought the eyes that he did either. Like you have celebrities on the sideline watching their games now. Like multiple YouTubers out there just trying to video and post their stuff. But nobody's been doing that. And now I think, if I'm correct, I thought Deion was supposed to put on like an HBCU combine.
Yeah.
Just for all the players, but they all are mad at him about going to Colorado, but those are the things that he's done that shed the light and brought the light back on HBCUs, that they actually are NFL players at these schools, but people just have to look.
There's a lot of Hall of Famers we've seen that have come from HBCUs for sure. And I mean, he donated a lot of his money. He got a lot of big donors. Do you feel like in his time there, obviously it's been an impact on Jackson State, but has that influenced other like SWAC teams in general? Like, have you seen an uptick in like maybe some donor money at Southern or other schools since he got there trying to compete?
So if we've gotten donors, I couldn't tell you, but it's the fact of people want to help, but people are terrified to help because they don't know where the money goes after they write the check. That's like I saw in an interview where Deion was talking about he was supposed to get a percentage of the ticket sales. After 30,000, he's supposed to get a percentage. Deion played. I'm pretty sure he played a sold out game, damn near every game this season. But somehow the attendance was never over 30,000 when the stadium sits 60. So the money's going somewhere, but it wasn't going to him. And that's the biggest thing is like people are terrified to see where their money are going. Like if I'm correct, I think we had a donor that donated to us, and somebody didn't disperse their check right, so he asked for all his money back. And I mean, that's the scariest part about really and with a HBCU, because if you ever hear somebody complain about an HBCU, it's not about the school. It's not about the school as in like being in class or anything like that. It's about financial aid and being in the registers. That's literally like, especially with me, that was my biggest complaint about being here. Like I'm just always waiting on something that should have been done a minute ago. Versus you go to a school like Lafayette, that's not happening. I've never had to wait on to get to me or anything like that. And on top of that, they're checking in to make sure it got to you. Besides our coaches, and that's why like I take pride in our coaches. Like they're the only ones that actually check with that. You know, and I feel like if you don't, especially at a HBCU, if you don't stay on top of that, then you're not gonna get it.
So it sounds like they need to invest more in like just people that are going to hold them accountable, but they don't really want that, right? It's they just want to.
It's the norm. Like I'll put it to you like this: if you see somebody, if you're busting your ass at work, and you're making the same as somebody who's sitting on their ass, what are you naturally going to do just from human nature? There's no incentive to continue to grow or to move up because you just see what they're doing.
One thing that I will say from my personal experience, I've attended some college softball games. You know, I've been to games UTSA, being here in San Antonio, but I've also attended Southern versus Texas Southern, and even in that was just a huge difference. UTSA has a small softball field. You know, I've been to softball games there. I've been to softball games at University of Texas, but then when I went to Houston to see Southern play Texas Southern, they had to rent a field at a public park to play that, which is some shocker to me.
Some schools don't have fields. Like Texas Southern, their baseball team, they play at a public park. Mm-hmm. And I mean, that's just the nature of HBCUs. I mean, I don't think really people show what's there. Like out of Texas Southern just had 2 players drafted in the last 2 years. Cam Fields was one of them. I forget the name of the player that was drafted last year, but he went to the Nationals. And it's the fact that people don't understand that there is talent at the HBCU level in baseball. That's why I'm happy what Ken Griffey Jr. is doing, trying to get the HBCUs to the All-Star game. I just wish he would have done it a year earlier, but it's all good.
I will say this though, going to a game between a SWAC teams, there's a lot more shit talking that goes on between the dugouts back and forth for sure.
Oh yeah, no, that's what we thrive off of. It's fun, like because if you really look at us after the game, like I have especially with Grambling. Grambling is the worst one. I don't know why. Never understood that part, but Grambling, like we talk the most shit between them two. But after the game, we're all cool. It's really just obviously getting everybody's head, make each other mad, but we're all cool after the game. Like when we went to the All-Star game up in Atlanta, everybody that was there, we're all laughing, talking about the things that we said and did. Mm-hmm. Like it's honestly a great time, but it's just one. It's like if you're not mentally tough, it's going to be hard for you to play. It's like because people think that it's just you suck. No, it's coming at you way harder than it's starting at your mom and your dad and then your girlfriend. I got a question. Who had a problem with Deion leaving? Just curious.
I didn't. To be honest, I was kind of expecting it. I didn't think he'd do it after 2 years. But I kind of expected it. Like you didn't have to worry about like his experience level. You didn't have to worry about like him not having the college coaching experience. So like, yeah, I was kind of looking forward to seeing him move up, especially to a bigger program. So.
Yeah. The thing with like I want go ahead.
I didn't have a problem with him leaving either, and I'm not shocked that he did it. You know, you get an opportunity to coach at a Power 5 school. You know, that's something you take advantage of. You know, I'm sure there were plenty of talks involved, and Deion basically saw another opportunity to mold young men, and that's what he does. He flat out said that in multiple interviews. He's been put here in order to mold young students into men. And that's what he does. So the opportunity presented itself, and he took it. I don't know. I've seen so many people who are upset about it. I don't understand. Look at everything he did for Jackson State before he left, and you see the little clips, 1 minute clip, 2 minute clip, 3 minute clip about different things he said to his new team at Colorado. What was at Jackson State? Everybody's upset. But if you really watch all of the interview, which is well over 3 minutes long, his students at Jackson State still love him. Nobody was upset there. They embraced. And then, he did what he did at Colorado, but it's one of those that like, oh, he said this, go jump in the portal. Well, if you watch the whole interview, it's not just go jump in the portal. It's if you can't handle this, and if you're not ready for it, then go.
Yeah.
In which case, yeah, you should. If you can't handle it, then get the hell out of there. I mean, seriously. What do you think was going to happen? It's Deion Sanders. He's the GOAT. So he's going to go there and they coach you, but you're supposed to be there, half-assing your way through. That's not going to work.
Right.
So,
And I think like I wanted to shed some light on this. So, do we all know who Billy Napier is?
Name's familiar. I'm not too familiar with
him,
but name's familiar.
He's a head coach at Florida now, but he came from Lafayette.
Yeah. Okay.
So Billy spent 3 years at Lafayette. First season, let's see, I have it all written down. He went 7-7. Second season went 11-3. Last season went 12-1. And he was loved, like everybody sent off very well when he went to Florida. Billy was making like $2 million a year, and then when he went to Florida, now he's making 7.1.
Yeah.
But like, it's the fact that Billy is in the same business of Deion. Like, if you actually listen to anything that Billy Napier says, it's the same thing. But then you look at to me, it was so disrespectful for how even Jackson State fans acted during the championship when they played a song basically telling Deion to leave. Like this, you're telling a guy who made really $150K a year because he gave away half of his salary.
Yep.
He's not getting it. He's not getting the incentives that he said. So really, all he really making money for is his endorsements that he has. That's what he's really making money. Deion was there for 3 seasons. The COVID year, he was I want to say it was 4-3. Then what was it? It was 4-3. He went 11-2, won the SWAC, but lost the bowl game. And then this year they're undefeated and going to the bowl game. Like, the man has brought so many platforms to Jackson State now and back to HBCU not baseball, football. And we're mad about that. We're mad that a man like as he said, he elevated and went from $150K to a $5.6 million contract. Like that simply just doesn't make sense to me. And the fact that people are actually mad at that, because I promise you, if the shoe is on anybody else's foot, they're doing the same thing.
Facts.
Oh yeah,
I would leave for that kind of pay raise. Right?
Hell yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But you make a point of it. Like what I remember the most about it is when he first got there, he highlighted a lot of things that were wrong. I mean, something as simple as putting last names on the back of the jerseys, which really up until he did it at Jackson State, you never saw that at any FCS school. And I don't remember if you guys had him on your baseball jerseys or not at Southern, but no, but you had him at Louisiana, I'm sure. And that's kind of just something like that. Like they worked just as hard as everybody else to get to that point. But he shed a lot of light on it. He got the #1 recruit in the country to come to Jackson State of all things.
I was about to say that you got like this is the first 5-star recruit to go to a HBCU.
Yeah. And then meanwhile you have Jimbo Fisher getting supposedly the top recruiting class, and he doesn't even make it to a bowl game this year with Texas A&M. So
A&M.
yeah.
A&M, and do you see how many people entered the portal from A&M?
Oh yeah, for sure.
But here's another thing I want to say. Let's talk about the fact that this man has made $150K this year, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got players that are making $9 million in NIL deals, and you're mad that this man is leaving. Please tell me how are you going to coach a player that's making more money than you than deals? Give an 18-year-old $9 million and then try to tell him to do something. Let me know how that goes.
See if he even works for it. I mean, you give somebody that young that much money, like, oh, I don't have to practice. I'll just show up for game day. You know, I mean,
you got. I forget the kid's name. I think he was either committed to. I think he's committed to Texas or something like that. Either Texas or Miami. But his NIL is more than what Trevor Lawrence is making right now in the NFL.
Which
so like
part of the reason Frank Harris is staying at UTSA another year too, because UTSA is getting a lot more donor money with NIL. There's a big flux of quarterbacks that are coming into the NFL. So Frank Harris doesn't have the best draft stock right now. So he has an extra year of eligibility because of a medical red shirt because of the COVID year. So he's going to stick around at UTSA for one more year. You know, a lot of people think he should leave, but he decided I'm sticking around. And I think the NIL is part of the reason why we might see more athletes stay their full eligibility. You know,
100% is a negotiation standpoint now. Like who was it? Carter Young. Carter Young, he didn't have that great of a season at Vanderbilt. He had 2 really good years beforehand, and he was transferring to LSU. Well, Carter Young got, like, I want to say $1.5 million in the 15th round of the draft, which is unheard of. Why? Because Carter said, look, you can pay me what I want, or I'm going to go to LSU and get this in Anaheim. Like, it's literally that simple.
So the NIL system, in a way, do you think it's broken, or some improvements need to be tweaked to it?
It's got to be capped.
Uh-huh.
Like there's no reason for a kid that haven't even stepped foot on a football field to be making more than NFL players. Like, it's cool if you give them some, but like at some point, I think that's where financial advisors should start to come in too, to where like they don't get all the money at once. Like, it's given to them a certain, like, over a period of time. Because the number one thing with athletes is they run through money. Nobody knows how to manage their money.
I would say this. What been your most memorable experience playing for an HBCU? Something that you're going to take away from your 2 years there at Southern?
I mean, besides our championship game, it's really bus rides, man. That thing is wicked. We do some stuff on the bus. Like, the bus would be rocking on our way back.
Oh, I just thought of something for sure. One reason I think why Deion also left, and this might be a hindrance, the SWAC champion can't play for a national championship. Yeah, and that's kind of the weird limbo thing where the SWAC, they're technically an FCS team, but they're tied to a bowl game, right? The champion of that conference has to go play a bowl game.
They go play the MEAC, the other HBCU conference bowl game.
Yeah, the Celebration Bowl. I'm curious though if they weren't tied to that, if they were eligible for the FCS playoffs, which are going right now, and I think a lot of people think Jackson State could win the national championship if they're in that. Do you think Deion might have considered staying a little bit longer, but not taking the Colorado job?
I'd say so. I wouldn't say they would win the national championship. So let's talk about strength of schedule. But no, I think that factors in as well. Like, being able to do that versus playing for a bowl. I mean, that's why you see players tend to opt out of bowl games. It's like, at that point, they're like, nah, I'm not risking it.
Yeah. especially if they have high NFL prospects as well. So
Yeah, I mean, if you go 7-7 and you make a bowl game, that's just like a participation trophy. Like nobody wants to play in that game. That's why you see so many people on it.
Makes sense.
which is interesting because you have I think somebody from Ohio State, one of their top receivers, is opting out of playing in the playoff for that reason too. So he's not even gonna bother with the college football playoff at this point. So yeah. Well, Tremaine, I appreciate you coming on. Any social media you want to plug? People know where to follow you.
T_town14 on Instagram.
That's it.
That's it. That's all I got.
And you're in the MLB. Is the MLB draft league or just a draft league in general?
Yeah, it was MLB draft league. Yes, sir.
How is that for those who aren't familiar? How is that a little different from, I guess, any other like minor league baseball league? Really?
It's really connected. Like I said, it's actually sponsored by MLB. So like all the guys that we have there, like Jed. I don't know if you know who Jed Jerko is. That was my manager. Like we got all these ex-pro managers that's there helping us and teaching us different things. It's really more of a development thing, getting in a pro ball, instead of like just throwing you out there to the wolves and being like, hey, if you don't do this in these 5 games, you're going home. Mm-hmm. So like it's really like I'll say a stepping stone to getting into like big boy ball, really.
Have you had a lot of pro scouts coming to look at you too, or talk to a few at all?
I wouldn't say me in general, but our team up there, yeah, because my team won the league.
Nice. Now, you mentioned, of course, you're a Red Sox fan. Obviously, the biggest buzz has been about the Yankees re-signing Aaron Judge. But the Sox made a big signing as well, getting one of the top talents out of Japan. Wanted to get your thoughts on that too, aside from the Kenley Jansen signing him for 2 years before that. So
we need more than that. I mean, they're looking at trading who is it, Bobby Dole back. They got to sign Xander back, which the way that's going, it doesn't look very good. So we got to find a first baseman. We got to find a shortstop. It's wild up there in Beantown for sure.
And
pitching was the really like we had a bad bullpen. Chris Sale came back for 1 or 2 starts and then got hurt again. Broke his pinky on a comebacker. Like there was a point last year during the season that Boston got hot and they were in contention, and then it was just like the air just got taken.
And where do you think Carlos Correa ends up?
That one's between Jesus. I don't know about that. I didn't think Correa was ever going to leave Houston, to be honest with you.
You know, it's interesting saying that because Jeremy Pena said in an interview that after Correa's last year at Houston, like when the season was over, they lost in the World Series, he met with Pena and told him this is going to be your team. So Correa pretty much knew he was out. You know, Houston wasn't going to pay him what he thought he deserved. So, and then, you know, he signed with Minnesota. I knew that was going to be like the way the deal was structured. Like he's going to treat every year like a free agent year. You know,
yeah.
He gave himself some leeway in case he got hurt, but you know,
it's crazy for that one because like even with like the scandal that happened with Houston and cheating and all that, like notice nobody stepped forward like Correa did. And like that's why I said like the way he stepped up, it was like, nah, he's not leaving there. Like no shot. But I mean, people do some wild things. I mean, to be honest with you, I didn't think Judge was gonna go back to the Yankees.
I thought he was going to San Francisco. I thought San Francisco was going to break the
back. I thought he was going anywhere but back to the Yankees, especially after how they treated him in the playoffs. After the man carried you for 162 games, yeah. Sorry, I couldn't be me.
I agree. I'm a Yankees fan. I agree.
Well, we do have a Dodgers fan on here, and I have to ask him: Would you be okay with Carlos Correa wearing the Dodger blue?
No.
How do y'all
Look
not
at that
lock
one.
up Trey Turner? That's my question.
What was that?
Who they not lock up Trey Turner?
Yeah, I don't know.
You let Seager go and then you let Trey Turner go?
I don't know what they're thinking, or they may have made a play for somebody else, and we're thinking that they were gonna get it, and I don't know. I just don't know what they were thinking.
Who else? I think who else? Who are their big shortstops out there besides Correa though? Xander Bogaerts, right?
Bogart, I think, yeah.
Yeah. So
I don't think Sanders had a meeting with the Dodgers yet.
As far as I know, no.
the only one I was actually a bit surprised was seeing Wilson Contreras going to the Cardinals. I thought the Astros were going to make a play for him.
Nah,
trying
that
to get a
makes
bigger
sense.
bat. But it does make sense with Yadier leaving.
Yachty.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Cardinals had
That
no
one
money to
makes a
offer.
lot of sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I actually like that move.
But-
Let me tell you who the Dodgers are gonna pick up at short. Wait, did Javi sign a big deal last year? Javi Baez?
Javi Baez? I don't think so.
Keep that in mind.
interesting. Tremaine, appreciate you jumping on. Is there anything else you wanted to say just about anything in general with HBCUs? Anything that, I guess to Deion directly? I know you didn't play for him, but for what he did for HBCUs in general, is there anything you would say to him if you could meet him face to face?
I mean, he shed a light. That's what I tell him. Like, he did everything that he said he would do, he did. And like, you can't fault a man for doing. If anything, I'll ask somebody to do is be honest with me, and that's exactly what he did. And he did exactly what he said he was going to do.
Do you think he wins in Colorado?
Oh, he's about to get some transfers, yeah.
All right. Cool. Well, Tremaine, appreciate you being on. It's been awesome talking to you a bit. I'm sure we'll talk, more as things come down the road. And good luck to you. Hopefully, we see you with the drafted by a big league team and maybe playing for your Red Sox one day. So.
Hey man, I hope so.
We hope you do too.
Yeah. Appreciate you coming on, Tremaine. You take care.
No problem. Y'all have a good one.
Thanks.
You too.
Take it easy.
All right, man.
There's. All right. Thanks again to Tremaine Spears for being on. And guys, your thoughts really just on what he had to say. I thought it was good to get a perspective of somebody who's played at an HBCU, has had that perspective, seeing the difference from your typical D1 college to an HBCU.
I think it was cool to just get some insight. Just knowing that, like, yeah, you have teams that have won national championships and they're playing underneath a bridge. Like,
Yeah.
that's kind of crazy.
I was really surprised by the fact that, at UL, at Louisiana, everything is there for you. They're ready to go, but he gets to Southern, like nothing gets done. So, but yeah, I really hope that really what Deion did was shed a light on what happens there. And I hope that him leaving really, maybe some people start stepping up, and really taking some ownership on that if they really want some of the top recruits to keep coming to schools like that, So,
Right.
yeah. Well, thank you again, Tremaine. Appreciate it. We'll actually get into our show here now. We're going to be recapping Week 13 of the NFL season and making our predictions for Week 14. And let's just jump right into that. So how do we do Week 13? Chicken Wing won the week, went 11-3-1. Meanwhile, myself and Rob went 9-5-1, and Nori and DJ went 8-6-1 on Week 13. So, Chicken Wing, we'll start with you. Our usual recap here. Biggest regret you had pick-wise, and any team that surprised you this past week in the NFL season?
Blah, 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 blah. No, I don't have any regrets. I really don't.
That's what I hear when you talk. Yeah.
I agree.
Anything that surprised you this week, though?
I'm really trying to cuss this man out. What was the question again? I was focused on not cussing the man out there.
What was the biggest surprise from the week in the NFL season for you?
Shit. I don't have any surprise. Actually, no. The biggest Biggest surprise that I have is how much Baltimore struggled against Denver.
Without Lamar?
I want to say without Lamar because even last season, when what's his face was a QB,
Huntley. Huntley.
That's right,
Tyler Huntley.
I couldn't think of the name for some reason. When he was playing, he didn't struggle as hard as he did on Sunday against the Broncos. So that was more of a shock than anything. But like pick wise, all of them were educated guesses, and most of them hit. Pittsburgh kind of surprised me, but kind of didn't. I think they're just playing for Tomlin because they don't want him to have a losing season, which I respect. Outside of that, no, I don't have any surprises or any regrets on that week.
If I have any potential regret on it, it's maybe taking the Jets the way Minnesota had been playing, but then again, it was Mike White, right? But surprise-wise, I guess the biggest surprise for me was how wide a gap the San Francisco-Miami game was. I thought that would be closer, especially with Jimmy G going down. So,
it's too irrelevant, bro.
Yeah. And do we need to start looking at the Raiders a little more now, guys?
No.
At least against their division opponents.
Against division, maybe?
Josh McDaniels still their head coach?
I mean, he's won 3 in a row, hasn't he? Right? So,
No. They won in spite of him. He didn't win that. Don't give him credit for that.
Don't give him credit.
And I know people want me to address the me picking the Titans and then probably me picking the Texans. Hey, I went with the Texans. I stuck with my bold prediction. And let's face it, Deshaun Watson didn't beat the Texans. His defense and special teams of the Browns beat the Texans.
That's facts.
2
Correct.
defensive touchdowns and a punt return for a touchdown.
We did try to tell you that even with the Texans being devoid of talent, they just didn't have a chance to win.
I know, but I stuck with it. I made my bold prediction. I manned up, took it. But
You did.
yeah, but Deshaun, no, don't. For the Browns fans thinking he had a hell of a no, he didn't. So
No.
yeah, and I
don't think any Browns fans think that. I haven't seen any.
no.
I mean, technically, JC's right. Had it not been for those defensive touchdowns, he would have won.
Yeah, Houston
Exactly.
played great, but then it is what it is from there. But I really expect every team to play against the Browns on the road, especially to be chanting "no means no" every time the Browns are on offense. That's
I bet.
Well, that sadly is not how the pick 'em league works. Unfortunately, it's if the Queen had a dick, she'd be king, right?
I know.
You know?
Yes,
I get it, buddy. We've had a lot of close, frustrating calls. Like you feel it in your gut, you feel it in your balls that like I made the right pick, but you did, and it sucks. I know, man. I'm with you.
It's part of it for sure. So, anyway, let's see. Rob, what about you?
For last week, I think the only pick I regret is the Minnesota pick. Like, I get we're on the hype with Mike White and everything, but like, it's Minnesota and they are the number 1 in the North over there. My surprise, Cincinnati pulling it out without Joe Mixon and Sam, was it Kareem? Just going off and just like, no, I'm not getting tackles. I'm just going to carry you for a couple more yards. I'm like, okay, cool. Thanks. Great. Yeah.
Fun fact: Joe Burrow's 3-0 against Patrick Mahomes.
Which is
And
the reason why I picked
crazy.
that. Yep.
And they had the same exact score in the AFC Championship game, 27-24.
That is hilarious.
It's not just Burrow too. I think the Bengals have beaten the Chiefs like, what is it now? 7 of the last 8 times they played.
7 out of 8. Yeah.
So.
And they've been doing it with like injuries, like to every major.
Yeah.
I was like, man,
Every major position, it's just crazy.
I was like,
No,
bro.
first of all, let's talk about how injury riddled Green Bay is, and they still have real estate in Chicago.
In Chicago,
I mean, is Aaron Rodgers starting for Green Bay against Chicago?
this
Oh, yeah,
man
he did.
hurt
That's all you
his
need to know.
ankle last week,
Yep.
broke a rib. I was like,
Doesn't
I'm gonna
matter.
play against Chicago. I'm playing. I'm starting. I'm like,
That's it.
Yep.
Man
alright,
has,
cool.
I think 18 houses now. Something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Shit, at least he's got a compound somewhere.
Yeah.
DJ, your thoughts on Week 13?
I don't have any regrets. I just
You regret
I
not
really
putting your
wanna
pick in for
showcase-
Buffalo against New England because you forgot to put that one in.
JC, we're not gonna focus on that, all right? We're not doing that, and we don't need to fucking focus on that. I thought it
Pull a mic?
I thought it went in, but it didn't.
Pull the mic?
You
Yeah,
shut
okay.
your fucking mouth. I no, I don't ever want to be anything like you. Never. It happens. So okay, fine. I'll put that down. I wish I would have made sure that it actually saved versus just hitting send. Well, it's fine. Yeah, it should be fine. It wasn't fine. I really want to showcase how bad do you have to be offensively to go against a Ravens team who loses Lamar Jackson in the first quarter, but you can't get more than 9 points. Seriously. That game is right there for the taking. Hey, Lamar Jackson's out. Good luck, Russell Wilson. We'll get you a win. Nope. The defense played great. The defense actually gave you the ball twice. Like, hey, here, Russell, we'll help you. We have 2 takeaways. This is for you. Russ is like, okay, cool. I'll get you some field goals. That's it. It's embarrassing. It's an absolute joke to watch them play football. But that's no regrets. And the surprise is that the Broncos couldn't beat the Ravens without their franchise player and the best player on their team. That's my surprise.
It's the story of the Broncos season. They have one of the best defenses in the league, but one of the worst offenses.
Yes, they do.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. It's like a pitcher getting no run support, basically. So, Nori, finally your thoughts on Week 13.
I regret my laziness because I felt good about all the picks. I was just really fucking lazy with the Bears because I forgot that Aaron Rodgers was going to start. I thought he wasn't, and I forgot to double check. So I definitely would have changed my pick. I did not think with obviously Rodgers and the Bears backup, but they would have had a chance. My biggest surprise actually is Minnesota beating the Jets. I honestly thought Jets were going to beat them, and then they lost by 5. So I actually do not regret that pick.
And that was a bigger blowout too until the Jets fought back as well. So I don't think that's a game Jets fans should be too upset about. So.
Yeah, no, exactly. Like if they would have got blown out, they would have lost like fucking 40-3 or some shit like that. Then oh god, that's bad. Like Minnesota did. But
yeah,
the Jets have some. They have some fight with them, and I really like what they're doing with Mike White for his started 3 total games ever. I really like what they're doing with him, and how I'm still a huge fan of him.
You mentioned when we started this podcast how a tie felt like a loss, and honestly, with the way that Washington has been rolling, do you feel like that was a better result though than what it could have been?
No, because we had that game won 3 times in the fourth quarter. Two of those things were mistakes on penalties. One of them was a ridiculous pass interference that shouldn't have been, and the whole bar just absolutely, screamed and lost their shit because it was really unbelievable, like how the refs seemingly bailed them out, or it was just incompetence. I'm not sure which one makes me sadder, but the way they had momentum, we should have won. We should have shut them down, but there's just too much of a talent deficit, and I'm proud of them that despite the talent deficit, as not only just talent deficit, but how injured we are, we just tied a team that beat Philly. So I'm not too mad. I was more just disappointed with the Giants, but it is what it is. We're 7-4-1, and I'm really happy where they're at. It does feel like a loss only because the NFC East is so fucking competitive right now, and we're still in the wild card race. Which right now, if the playoffs ended, we'd be playing 49ers. No, thank you. So we need to change that up.
That
But to be on the other side of that, you effectively kept Washington out. Ty, just saying.
Actually, if they lose or tie at their last game at the end of the year, then New York is out because of the tie.
Well, no. I'm
They
saying
still gotta play again one more
right
time,
now.
but yeah.
The playoffs ended yesterday. Nori actually kept them out. So I'm just saying. And to be fair, that game was called down the middle. I see no mistakes in the refs call. Thank you.
What the fuck are you talking about, Mike? I don't even give a fuck about the Giants, and it wasn't called down the middle. Lord have mercy. goddamn zebras, man. Fucking up everything. Anyway, go ahead.
The ties are always interesting in a playoff race because sometimes those half wins are just enough. Like a team clinches a
Just
playoff
enough
spot
to-
by a half win, you know?
Facts.
Yeah. So
Of course, they could just miss out by half a win.
it's possible too. And they play again in 2 weeks. So what if it ties again? That would be insane. I don't know.
I
if that's
did
ever
not
happened.
realize that ESPN updated their standings. Effectively, officially, Bears and Texans are out of the playoff.
Out of the playoffs.
Yes, for
Mathematically
the
out.
second year in a row, the Texans are the first team officially eliminated from playoff contention. Congrats to all the Texans fans out there for that one.
Woo, all two of them.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
And the Bears followed behind shortly afterward, too, becoming the second team eliminated officially from playoff contention. So,
Yay.
yep.
Yay.
Yep. So, I think it's safe to
So-
say that the Texans are on the road for the number one pick and are probably going after, what's his face from Alabama? Quarterback.
Bryce Young.
Bryce Young. There we go. Yeah. So,
Yeah.
So
right.
just throwing this out there for Russell Wilson, we were laughing about him earlier. He's cost Las Vegas on prop bets alone over $3 million.
Yes.
Well, you know what? He paid that shit out of his pocket because he doesn't deserve that money.
Isn't that the value of his home right now with the 12 bathrooms?
12 bathrooms. Only 8 touchdown passes.
I mean, like, if the Mafia is involved in this, like, dude, just keep.
They're coming for him.
They're coming for him because, like,
They're coming for him.
like the prop bets are like plus 125 that he'll be under 1.5 touchdowns per game, and
Oh
they
my
paid out
God.
for the last 6 weeks, I think.
Oh my
7
God, I'm
weeks
always
now?
taking the under. I would always take the under given the way this season is going. Jeez.
Yeah, I was like,
Lord
Jesus.
have mercy.
Yeah.
Like it has
wonder
been
if,
plus 133, plus 215.
Oh my god.
Like Jesus, how much money are these people making right now?
I don't feel like if Russell doesn't put up enough touchdowns, CR shouldn't put up all summer. At least not to him.
Not to him,
Wow.
like.
That's
I mean, he already has
shit,
the.
boy. That
I
might
love-
do the trick.
I love some of
Somebody
the
has to
fan
do
sites. I love the fan sites that are like, after this last loss, he should pay back the 245 million. I'm like, you're right. He
Facts.
hasn't thrown touchdowns and.
Well, if Sam Bradford never gave back a dime, he sure as fuck won't. So
This is true.
Yes.
This is true. Okay,
I want.
on to
I
the week.
wonder.
And now, as far as some roster moves as well, the biggest one obviously was that the Panthers let go of Baker Mayfield.
can't believe it.
Oh, and got picked up by the Rams?
Picked up by the Rams. The Rams took his contract off of waivers rather than let him go to free agency. So, is a good chance Baker Mayfield starts tomorrow night, Thursday night,
Anything? No.
like on 3
mean,
days against
The Eagles won a Super Bowl with, Nick
Nick
Foles.
Nick
Yeah.
Foles.
But he
Yeah.
was second string, sir.
That made me believe anything is possible with anything. So
You know, and it's quite the move by the Rams. They're 3-9, right? I mean, come on, guys. I don't think
Who gives a fuck?
it's going to take a potentially a miracle to be in the playoffs at this point. And I don't think
They
Baker
got him
Mayfield
because
is that
of us.
miracle. Huh?
That's the only reason why they got him, because they didn't want us to. Like we were gonna reach for him anyway.
I mean, it's
The
not like
dude,
he's
the
expensive.
Shanahan's
He's
have
still on
already
his
said
rookie
they
contract,
don't
right?
want him.
So he's still on his
Well,
rookie contract, right? So it's not like he's expensive.
Well,
Yeah.
exactly. But
Yeah.
any shot that they can take to not let your division rival take it, they're gonna fucking do it. Like the same shit for Dallas. Like if fucking, I don't know. Give me somebody good. AJ Brown from Philly. He gets waived for some fucking reason, right?
Okay,
Gets
well,
waived.
if he gets waived, Nick Sirianni should be fired.
Well, no. I'm
Immediate.
saying like
mean, yeah.
like hypothetically, if he gets waived for some fucking reason, and then New York's ahead of Dallas, and Dallas wants him, Giants are gonna take him. That's just like, no, fuck you. You're not getting him, and getting a better shot at the Super Bowl. Fuck out of here. Like that's the only reason in my eyes why they fucking took Baker. Like I care, but that's just hilarious that they did that.
Well, considering the quarterback situation you have right now in San Francisco, now obviously Jimmy G is out at least through the end of the regular season.
Yes,
And there's no guarantee he would be ready for the playoffs. With
His
foot injuries,
timetable-
yes.
his timetable is divisional round.
Okay.
Mhm.
So and Mr. Irrelevant didn't do too bad.
No.
Yeah.
So
He's relevant now.
He just matched Russell Wilson's career in one game.
Yeah.
Not career. I'm sorry. Not career.
So basically,
Yeah.
in a nutshell, what that means is he's better than Russell Wilson. That's what we're saying. Here.
Not his
Brock
career.
Purdy.
His season. He just matched his season like in an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, you're not
That hours work. I'm better than you.
I mean, think about it. I mean, if Brock's in practice playing against arguably the best defense in the NFL, I mean, even DJ can't argue that.
Yeah.
Like he's playing against.
No, I don't. The Niners defense is overall better than the Cowboys defense.
It's
right
just
now.
it's just ridiculous.
Minus Osweiler, the name Brock is usually like there with success.
Yes.
Brock Lesnar.
True.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, and then Tom Brady was second to last pick, and he came in for Bledsoe, and look where that happened. I'm just
Brady
saying,
was
boys.
second to last round.
Second to last
Oh,
round.
second to last
He wasn't-
round.
Yeah.
We're
He-
talking about
yeah,
Mr.
my
Irrelevant.
My
Yeah.
mistake.
Like literally the last person picked.
Oh yeah. I knew Brock was the very last person picked, but I mean, we have two rookie quarterbacks, so I mean, well, rookie and
Even
sophomore.
Brock Turner didn't lose.
Sophomore. Ha!
Mm-hmm. So I don't know. It's just it's just an interesting situation because if you're a coach, well, actually all you guys, if you're a coach and Brock gets us to the divisional round, but Jimmy's cleared to play, who do you go with?
Brock.
Rock.
Brock.
Hot
I think you go with the hot hand. If Brock got you there, then,
Yeah.
He got you there. Why would you swap him out?
You ride with a hot hand. You already know Jimmy G can come up in a backup role if he's needed. He did that this year, right?
Not just the hot hand, but the one you already know that Jimmy G has a ceiling.
Yeah.
So it's like
This
at
is
least
true.
Trey Lance, you don't know about that ceiling. Watson has probably a really high ceiling. I mean, yeah, no, Turner. Who knows? It could be the next Tom Brady, or it could be an aberration. I mean,
You're
go
right.
with the hot-
You go with the hot hand. I mean, the fact that he's playing under Kyle's Shanahan system for like all this time, and apparently, according to RG3 and that other guy, Dan Orlovsky, that irrelevant guy, his tape is good. So,
Yeah. I mean, look, the last team that really rode a hot hand and made it successful was the Patriots.
true.
Bledsoe gets hurt. Brady comes in. The rest is history, right? I mean, I'm not saying that could happen to Brady. It could, but that's really how you play with football. I mean, that's part of when Kaepernick got a shot. They rode the hot hand, went to the Super Bowl.
And the system doesn't heavily depend on the quarterback like other teams do,
No, but I mean, the offense is going to get a little more simplified, though, because it is a rookie. That's just naturally going to happen.
That's true. That's true. I mean, because Brock, this game, his actual first career start is going to be a true test. I mean, unfortunately, it's against Brady, and Brady's undefeated against first starters. Brady's played 7 quarterbacks, beat them all, and their rookie starts. So that's going to be an interesting game. Rob, you can come over. I go to you. Doesn't matter to watch.
Over there.
That's cool. But I don't want to put this like Trent Dilfer in the Ravens, right? Because
Sorry.
exactly, because like Trent Dilfer is just bad, and the Ravens defense gave him the win. But we have a crazy defense, a star-studded offense. I don't know what to expect. I'm actually more fucking nervous than anything because we don't know what to expect with this kid. You know what I mean?
Well,
and we don't know his football intelligence. Go ahead.
Here's my thing. So Brock Purdy comes in.
Yeah.
After Jimmy G goes down early in the game, and you see what he was able to do.
Yes.
And now he's actually going to have practice time under and taking first team snaps because that's just what he's going to be doing. Now Jimmy G's not coming back at this point.
Right.
Y'all's defense, and it pains me to say this, I just want you to understand that. Y'all's defense is so good that really Brock Purdy just needs to pull a Cooper Rush, go in there, be careful with the football, don't do anything stupid, and y'all are going to win because your defense is going to put him in optimal position to get points.
That's
pretty much what you're going to have to do.
I agree.
And that's it.
I think it's going to be closer towards like the NFC Championship we had 2 years ago, where Garoppolo only threw the ball for 8 times that whole game.
Yeah.
But at the same time,
don't do anything stupid, and the defense will get you the win, basically. So that's it.
Yeah. At the same time, the only one thing I want out of my defense is to have, and it pains me to say this, y'all stat when it comes to takeaways, because man, Dallas can take away
we
that
take
ball.
that shit.
But
That
if we
ball
had
going
that
for us
stat,
always.
fuck.
Well, we'll dive into that more when we make our predictions. So, real quick, though, just some of the injury updates on it. Of course, we mentioned Jimmy G is out at least through the end of the regular season. Divisional round is the timetable. So, if the Niners end up playing in the wild card weekend, it doesn't look like he would be available. So,
No.
Yep.
Unless they rush him back.
It's I don't know if you want to do that.
Look. The difference is Dallas would be like, "Oh, you'll be starting in 2 You okay? Broken foot."
Let's see.
He laughs because it's the truth.
It is.
Lamar Jackson ends up being a PCL sprain. He's out anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks, so he's at least going to miss this week's game. Trevor Lawrence is going to be suiting up this week. Who are the other major injuries?
Von Miller.
Yes.
Aaron Donald.
Update on his. Now, he's been out for... He was originally put on IR before the Thursday game. They thought, okay, miss at least the 4 weeks. But when they actually got in there, they thought it was going to be a minor surgery. They got in there. They confirmed his ACL was torn. He is done for the year. Big blow to the Bills defense. So, let's see.
What's up with Aaron Donald? I didn't hear anything about that.
I don't know. Good question.
Did you know, DJ? You said his name.
I did, because when I was looking at the games coming up, I just saw across the ticker that Aaron Donald is hurt, but it didn't say what. It just said he's out this week. I mean, as if it matters. The Rams, everybody's injured on the Rams, basically. It doesn't
okay.
matter.
So you just saw the injury report.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah, and he's
I'll
on
look for it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, guys. I'll look for it.
So, yeah. So, those are kind of the major ones that people have been worried about right now, especially at the quarterback position. I think the Ravens specifically escaped with something that looked pretty serious on the field. I mean, Lamar could not even walk up the stairs to get to the locker room. He needed help for that. So, it's the things you take for granted, right? So, well, let's get into our Week 14 predictions for the NFL season. Now, the pick order is going to be Chicken Wing first, JC second, Rob third, DJ fourth, and Nori fifth. And this is the final bye weeks of the schedule this year. And there are 6 teams on a bye: Atlanta, Chicago, Green Bay, Indy, New Orleans, and Washington. So, let's start it off with the Thursday night game. And it is the Las Vegas Raiders heading into LA to take on the Rams, who potentially could have Baker Mayfield starting at quarterback when this game kicks off. The Raiders are actually favored by 6 on this one. Chicken Wing, what do you got?
Copy pasta. Oh, fuck, I'm first. Shit.
Yes.
Damn it. I can't use that strat no more.
Nope.
I'm going to go with the Raiders.
All right. I'm going with the Raiders as well. They seem to be playing better football right now than we expected, right? It's almost like that loss to the Colts woke them up. So, Rob.
I'm taking the Raiders. The Rams are terrible.
DJ?
Yeah, I'm also going to go with the Raiders for the exact same reason.
And I imagine, Nori, what about you?
He's taking the Rams. We'll just sign him
Anything against Josh McDaniels? Yeah, I think he'll take the Rams. Because fuck us, right? Right, Nori?
What?
Oh, cool. Thanks. Welcome back.
I had to pee. Couldn't hold it anymore.
All right.
Huh.
What's the question?
Raiders or Rams for the Thursday night game? What do you got?
Definitely the Raiders, because Josh McDaniel has to know that he has a low IQ. So instead of actually, he's just giving the ball to Josh Jacobs, because my fantasy is going higher, so I could tell. Oh yeah, I'm gonna go with the Raiders now.
Wow.
Oh my gosh.
That's a miracle.
All right. Sunday early games. The Jets at the Bills, and the Bills are favored by 9.5, and I think that's too high.
That's crazy.
Chicken Wing, what do you got?
I'm going for the Jets to cover, but I'm going for the Bills.
Okay.
He said the cover.
I mean, I don't think it's going to be that big a spread, too.
They're out Von Miller.
They're out, which makes me really. I'm back and forth on this one. I'm going with the Bills right now, too. I think weather's going to be an issue. But man, I'll be second guessing this one up until kickoff because if I'm not, the Jets beat the Bills earlier this year, right?
Yes, they did.
They did.
Yeah,
so
in
that's-
warmer weather.
That
These
is
are
correct.
winter teams. They play in this shit.
Listen, I'll wait till I have a very easy
you
thing.
wait.
I'll
I'll
make it
go with the
easier
Bills
for
for
you
now.
to
But
make it to me.
Rob, go ahead.
What was this again? Sorry.
Oh, we're doing a Sports Minorities podcast.
Jets and Bills, dude.
Oh, yeah, that's right. It's supposed to be.
That's Robert.
My bad. I'm taking the Bills, of course.
All right, DJ.
I like the Jets in this one. I like the Jets.
All right. And Nori, floor is yours.
Yeah, I'm gonna make it very simple for everybody. If Zach Wilson can beat the Bills, Mike White can do it.
You said the same shit about Kirk Cousins. Look what happened last week.
It wasn't a primetime game though.
Well, you know, Mike.
Neither is this one.
I made some bad picks this year, like you have, my friend. Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
that's why we're not winning. So,
Yep.
yeah, I'm
We're
gonna.
catching up to JC though. It's JC in December. Yes.
Can't
My perfect
believe
time
I
of the
am
year.
not the Dallas Cowboys. You fuck kiss my ass, bro.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the Jets in this one. I'll be the lone wolf. It's all good.
Oh, you're not the lone wolf. DJ is
You-
also going with the Jets. Too.
No, I picked the
Yeah,
Jets. Oh,
DJ's
come on,
going
dude. Come on, buddy.
That's right.
Come on, buddy.
Right. We're best buddies now. The better Edwards, right?
buds.
Another
Best
division
buds
matchup here: Cleveland at Cincinnati, Battle of Ohio. Chicken Wing, what do you got?
DJ, I'm gonna need you to send me 20 selfies and Cincy.
Cincy. Okay, I'm going with Cincy as well. Watson.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, I'm serious.
Bengals are
20
going to
selfies.
destroy
Send it to me.
Deshaun on this one. Rob, what about you?
Taking the Bengals, yeah.
All right, DJ.
Okay, I'm taking the Bengals. 1, 2, Mike. I got you. That was super random, but I got you.
Thank you.
And
Wait, he
Nori.
said I got you? I guess we did.
Yeah, I'm going with the Bengals.
All right. Now, DJ, you're going to pick this one first. It's the Battle of Texas. The Cowboys hosting the freshly eliminated from playoff contention Houston Texans with the biggest point spread of this season.
Yes.
And that may not be enough because Dallas is favored by 17 points
Oh my god.
after going scoregami on the Colts 54-19.
Oh my god.
Yes.
What's the over under?
13
Over-under
and a
is
half.
45.
53?
45?
Does it go up? Because it's 45 what I had. So
Hold on. Oh, yeah, you're right. 45.
yeah, 45 on this.
Okay.
Yeah, take the
Jesus.
over just on Dallas alone, right? But DJ, because it is your Cowboys, you're gonna pick first. So just go ahead. What you got?
Do they cover?
Do they cover? It's a good question.
Okay. Hell yes. By themselves, they don't need Texans to do anything.
Jesus.
The Texans just got eliminated from playoff contention, and let's be clear, we know they're fucking tanking so they can get Bryce Young. They're not even gonna have starters on the field for most of the game. I can almost guarantee that. Cowboys big. Let's move on.
All right. Is anybody picking the Texans to win a game the rest of the season?
Ooh, rest of the season?
rest of the season?
No.
Hold on.
Ooh. Let me look at their schedule.
Hold on.
Okay, let me just throw the schedule out there. The schedule is at Cowboys versus Chiefs, at Titans versus
Loss.
Jags, and
Loss.
at Indy.
Loss.
Yes, they're gonna win
Loss
again.
and loss.
Who are they going to beat?
What?
Indy.
They'll beat Indy when they have the number one pick wrapped up. Is that basically what you're
Yes.
telling me?
You know what, Rob? I
And
hear
it's
what you're
gonna
saying
be
because, I mean,
it's gonna be a
the
spoiler
Texans-
game.
Yeah. Well, it's going to keep the Colts potentially out of the playoffs.
That's right.
Fuck you both. Fuck you both. It's gonna be a fucking spoiler game to the fucking Titans.
Fuck
you, JC.
On you
Yes,
ruined
sir.
my Christmas, you dickhead. No way.
I will fucking ruin your Christmas. Hell yes.
Well,
Why
listen,
would-
misery loves company. So if the Texans go ahead and they're not making the playoffs, so they figure, well, we'll take the teams in our division down with us. So I don't know, maybe they fucking do that shit. I don't know.
See, that's what I'm saying. Christmas Eve. It's a great Christmas present.
Well,
If this Hackham's chicken wing, I'm driving back from Florida. I'm taking that. All right.
It's okay. We got a recording of it. We're good.
Okay. Minnesota at Detroit, another division matchup this week. Detroit, though, is actually favored by 1.5 at home on this one.
At home.
Yes. Chicken wing, who you got?
I'm taking Minnesota. It's not a primetime game, and I'm sticking with it.
All right.
That is correct.
I'm going with Minnesota, and honestly, because I feel it's the safe pick right now. Because this one's hard. Detroit, though, was impressive, but I know it was the Jags. Minnesota on a roll. This goes either way, but this is another. Both teams play at indoor stadiums, so I'm going to give that to Minnesota. Rob, what about you?
I'm gonna take Minnesota. I'm really divided on this one. Like, yeah, I'm really divided here. Because Detroit can put up points. Like, they've shown that they can score and they can go into these shootout matches. I just don't know if they can keep up. Yeah, I'm gonna take Minnesota. Yeah.
All right, DJ.
I'm going with Justin Jefferson. So by default, the Vikings.
All right, and Nori.
I can almost guarantee the Detroit Lions will win because I'm going to pick the Vikings.
Okay.
Well, in that case, I'm picking Detroit because
They should. I almost want to put the Nori guarantee on it because every fucking time I think Detroit's got this game, they do the opposite of what I want them to do. So I'll be rooting for Detroit. I'll be screaming because I'll be picking the Vikings.
Okay.
Because I can't afford too many risky picks. I'm already picking the Jets. So.
Yeah. All right. Tennessee now hosting Jacksonville. Titans favored by 4 at home. I'm picking this one first. Yes, going with Tennessee. I honestly don't see them losing another game the rest of the year. And yes, that includes against the Cowboys week 17. So.
Well, I see y'all losing the game. Okay, we'll go from there.
So.
We'll go from there. It's cool. We'll see.
Yes, obviously the biggest news out of Tennessee is the firing of John Robinson, the GM. Caught me a bit by surprise, especially because he just got an extension in February. It's like, really?
yeah. Well, when you lose to the guy that you traded,
First, I am actually not mad about the trade. I wasn't on draft night when I saw who we drafted, and I expected last week's game. I thought Burks was gonna have a coming out party, and then he took a cheap shot in the end zone and still held on to a touchdown pass. Fucking sucks, dude, because that was the game he was going to break out, and then the rest is history, right? So.
And that AJ guy caught 2 touchdowns. And
yeah, sure he did. Yes, he's going to do great.
Yeah,
But then if Philly doesn't win a Super Bowl this year, which they always manage to choke doing that, who are they going to sign? Because that big extension they gave AJ Brown's going to kick in, and they ain't going to be able to sign anybody. So, anyway, moving on from that, though, I got the Titans beating the Jags. Had the Jags number. I'm sticking with that. And Phil, if you're listening, yes, we're going to do this again, bro. So I'm happy Trevor Lawrence is playing, but get ready for that pass rush. So I've got the Titans. Chicken Wing, what about you?
Sadly, I have to go with the Titans.
Sadly.
Yeah, sadly.
Sadly.
I don't want to give JC wins.
All right,
Rob,
Rob.
playoff hopes.
I'm gonna go with the Derrick Henrys. Yes.
Okay, DJ.
The Queen Henrys. Yeah, I know.
Wow. Come on.
I don't
dude.
know. Have y'all seen how he's been getting hit this year? He is not. He's not running people over. He's good.
Nope. Nope.
Well, when Dallas goes there, we'll hit him a lot. But I got you. Yeah,
we'll talk about your run
we're going
defense, bro. Shit. DJ.
I'll talk about the takeaways.
Okay.
Let's talk about that.
Mm.
You know, talk about those. You know, the sacks. We can talk about those.
I can't wait for week 17.
I can't wait.
Oh my god!
Ads are coming out.
On the calendar, baby. On the
Same
calendar.
night as the Alamo Bowl too, by the way.
Oh my god!
Yep.
Hook 'em.
Yes. So DJ, who you got? Titans or Jags?
I'm gonna go with your Titans this time.
All right, this time. Nori, you.
Why are we taking our time on this, fellas? We're all rooting for Jacksonville, but the Titans are probably going to win.
Okay,
So we'll pick the Titans.
God damn it.
This is true. We need
Because
DJ in town for
there
that
was
week,
like,
though.
there was
Because if our
that one
teams don't win the
chance.
Super Bowl, yours don't either.
All right.
That's it.
Oh.
That's simple, JC.
Okay.
I have nothing against the Titans, but you don't get to be happy. So
Gotta keep my championship streak going, bro. I got my teams.
yeah,
are gone
no,
now, so.
we're good. We're good. Thank you.
Yeah, you only get 2 a year unless you're me.
Fuck you. I'm gonna be the new trifecta. You kiss my ass. All right.
Wait, he has 2? Wait, you do have 2.
I do have
Yes,
Oh,
yeah, he has 2.
Yes.
Holy
Avalanche
shit.
Astros.
He's got the end. Yeah, the Avs.
Yeah, no,
I'm
JC
counting
can't
on
have
the
3.
Titans to get hot at the right time. and
No,
surprise
fuck
people.
you.
That's fine.
You're not
Yes.
getting trifecta.
It'll never
you,
be a trifecta because it all has to be the same championship year.
I mean,
And this could be the same championship year.
this could be the same championship year,
Yes.
technically.
This is technically right. Yes. Football started this year. Calm down.
All right. Philly at the Giants. Nori, customarily, I know we got to pick your team first. So what you got?
Philly.
It's Philly. I rooted for the Giants. I'm gonna piss myself laughing if the Giants win. I've seen crazier shit in my lifetime, but we are way too injury ridden to not only keep up with Devonta Smith, but AJ Brown, and to contain Jalen Hurts.
Jalen guy's pretty good right now. Yeah.
If we were like relatively healthy, I might pick the Giants as an upset, but we're not.
You're not.
So, I mean, the only way we win is if the same Giants team that showed up was the Washington team that showed up against Philly. If we just play underdog and piss them off and outcoach them, only way we're gonna win.
I mean, could happen, right? Stranger things have happened in the NFL, so
it could happen. Sure, yeah, absolutely.
Is anybody picking the Giants to beat the Eagles this week?
Nope.
No.
Unless they score more points than them, no.
Wow. No.
I
Thanks,
don't even. Not
was it
gonna
Booger
respond to
McFarlane,
that.
right? Who
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Jesus Christ.
Yes.
All right. And final of the early Sunday games, Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Chicken Wing, what do you got?
Baltimore. Fuck you, Baltimore.
I have
All right.
Baltimore right now, but I might change because the Ravens looked horrible without Lamar.
Yeah. That's not an easy pick, actually.
This isn't. Yeah.
Nope.
So this is a potential change for me, but I have Baltimore, I guess, penciled in, so to speak, right now, but that might change for me. Rob, what about you?
Take it Pittsburgh.
All right.
Eh.
DJ?
I'm actually taking Pittsburgh too because
You.
Lamar's not playing.
Yep.
Copycat.
And Nori?
Yeah, no, this is pretty self-explanatory, fellas. Like, if Lamar's not playing, I'm gonna pick the Steelers.
But like Baltimore's defense could.
No.
Yeah, they look
No.
great
Yeah,
last
but
week.
it's not like
What do you mean Baltimore's holding? You're fucking with me, right?
they're not playing the Broncos every week, bro. That's the Steelers this
Exactly.
week.
You think about it. We're not going to give Baltimore credit for their defense last week. We're going to give Russell Wilson credit for being trash.
I had the biggest smile when he said that. I could just see it. He had the biggest. Hey, guys, their defense is just fine.
Baltimore's
Your
defense
biggest great.
I thought you were cereal for a minute. I'm like, wait, what?
Man,
God,
I
damn.
was cereal, guys. No, I wasn't. Sorry. Okay.
All right. Well, speaking of that amazing
Denver.
Broncos offense, they're hosting Kansas City this week. Sunday late afternoon game. Kansas City favored by 9 on the road. Anybody
more.
picking the Broncos to beat the Chiefs?
I'm picking the Chiefs.
Okay.
I'm picking Russell getting one touchdown closer to his 12.
No, not even that.
Damn, that's mean. Wow. Okay.
Nah, I'm taking the under in Vegas on that one. Whatever
Hey,
it is.
for all of y'all that do prop bets, take the
Take the under.
Russell Wilson touchdowns. Take the under. It's paid out the last 7 weeks now.
Even if it's 0.5 touchdown passes, take the under.
Take the under.
Yes, take the under. Yeah, has he not? Don't forget they round up for the under. So
That's true.
We don't
All right.
endorse gambling here. Sports on my
not at all.
mind.
Not at all. Not at all.
So, all right.
In other states.
Minority matchup. Rob's Tampa Bay Buccaneers head to San Francisco to take on Chicken Wings 49ers. So they will pick this one last. I'm going to go first here on this one. I would have heavily considered taking taking Tampa had San Fran lost last week with Purdy coming in. But Purdy didn't look too bad. San Fran's at home, and I'm sorry, the NFC South is just horrible right now, and so I really think this defense is going to shut Brady down. So I've got San Francisco winning this one. DJ, what about you?
Yeah, I'm definitely going with the 49ers, and it doesn't even pay me to say it. Tom Brady cannot outrun this pass rush. He barely even runs. He's in serious trouble.
All right, Nori.
I'm definitely going with the 49ers. I think minus Rob. You know what? This might honestly qualify as anybody picking the Bucks.
Yeah, but it is a minority matchup, so we kind of have to do this whole ordeal.
It is.
Yeah,
Saint does qualify. Robert.
It
Nolan,
is,
But Rob, you're picking this one first. And you might have an argument here because someone said it earlier. Tom Brady has never lost to a rookie quarterback. So,
Yeah.
Rob, what do you got?
Yeah, but McCaffrey basically isn't a rookie quarterback either, because like he's thrown a pass already, so that's so like they don't technically have just one rookie quarterback playing. So I'm gonna go with San Francisco, because I love my Bucks, but like they're just the offense is just not there. Like it's just not. Yeah. It's,
Damn.
All right.
Yeah.
And Chicken Wing.
McCaffrey has 7 less touchdowns than Russell Wilson. Let me just put that out there, boys.
Wow.
But yes, Rob's right. It pains me to say it, but like
I was really hoping this would be a really exciting game, and I talked all sorts of shit to Mike, but like this is just not the time.
right. Well, I mean,
it's like week 1 and everybody was healthy, and
Yeah.
Tom
oh,
did
for sure,
pending
for
divorce,
sure.
And I think it would be
It'd be a real exciting game, but like
I
Michael
mean,
Rob said,
it is
y'all are hurt.
Fox's America's Game of the Week, by the way. Just throwing that out there.
Don't know why.
I guess it's Tom.
Because
Anyway,
Tom Brady.
yeah, I was gonna say because it's Tom.
It's single Tom versus that other team, so whatever.
Tom Brady's gonna get
Single
his ass
Tom versus Tom reincarnated 20 years later. That really
Ooh,
boys. So
at a later draft spot, too. So,
yes, and a later
Oh,
draft
that's
spot.
right. That's right.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. It'd be
All right.
interesting.
Final question before we move on from this. I feel like everyone thinks that the Tampa Bay Bucks are going to clinch or win the division right now.
They need
No.
2 more wins.
They need 2 more wins, but I'm not. Obviously, they're not doing this week. But I feel like with the schedule playing out, they're probably going to win the division.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What will
8
that
is-
record be that they clinch the division with?
8 is the magic number. 8 is the magic number. Like I've already, I could spent the whole day at work looking at this, and I was like, what?
You wonder
we
what
have
Asian
to
people do at work when they're football fans. They crunch the numbers and figure out what's going to win the division.
Okay,
So
technically, I'm also a data analyst. This is technically my job.
my God.
All right,
Okay.
this is me creating spreadsheets and trying to figure this out.
stop it, Robert.
That and ESPN has the playoff machine out, so like I was just just messing around and seeing what happens when like the Falcons win or lose, and yeah, so.
So 8-9 is going to be the record that wins the
So
division.
8 and 9 is what
And
we're
the
looking at.
worst, wait, that's not even the good part. The worst they can do is go 6-10 and still make it.
You mean 6-11?
Or 6-11, 6-11 and
You're
still
gonna
make
say
it.
10-1 because knowing you would pick a tie in there somewhere. But
You know what? The way this year's played out,
Shit, they might do it.
I might. All right. All right.
my
Final
God.
Sunday late afternoon game: Carolina at Seattle. And hold your horses, guys. Carolina has dropped Baker Mayfield, so they may start winning some games here. Chicken Wing, what do you got?
Fuck me, man.
Say it,
No,
say it.
I don't want to.
Hey, come on, man.
Yes, come on, indulge me,
dude.
Michael. Come on, Mike. Come on, say it.
King of the West.
That's right.
All right. I'm not going to go one by one. I just wanted Chicken Wing to say that. Does anybody think the Panthers are going to beat the Seahawks in Seattle?
I think so now.
Fuck off. Everyone, fuck
No.
off.
No.
Oh,
Come
that
on.
was
Happy
so
day.
worth it.
Gino's not losing this game. He's not losing
Worth
this
it.
game.
Yep.
Mm-mm.
All right. Sunday Night Football.
Fuck me.
Wonderful.
Miami.
You know what? No. Speaking of Sunday Night Football, I am pissed off. Why did our game, Seattle and San Francisco, get moved down for fucking Kansas City and Denver? Why? What
Because
sense did
Patrick
that
Mahomes
make?
is playing.
Because Mahomes.
Because that's right.
Because
That's also true.
Mahomes.
You know what?
That was
Noriega
flex
is
next
playing.
week, right? That was the flex next week?
Yeah,
That was
next
fucking-
week.
Yeah.
We got moved off the Sunday night game, which has playoff implications. Denver. Fuck Russell Wilson. I hope he stays at 8 for the rest of the fucking year. Fuck him.
That's right.
He might.
Let's ride.
Wait, hang on a second. What week is that? Is that week 16?
Next week.
Week 16.
No, I don't see
No, we're week 13. We're the next game. Oh, I'm sorry. I could be wrong. I think
Yeah,
it's
because I don't
15.
see that. Unless you're
No,
talking
it's
about week
15.
17.
Being wrong is not a surprise.
10. Oh, week 15 maybe?
No, because I don't
This
see. Because
week?
week 15 right now is the Sunday night game as Giants and Communists. So,
Yeah.
which imagine a Sunday night tie on that one, right? So,
Oh, could you imagine?
I'm already imagining it.
all right.
It's gonna be amazing.
Anyway, back to this week, guys. I think what you're talking about is some of the Christmas Eve games got moved around or something. Is that what it was?
No, 12:15. We play Seattle 12:15. Oh shit. Okay. So we got moved to that game.
Yeah, you got moved to the Thursday.
Yeah, to the Thursday game. Sorry.
You know, where everybody in the nation is watching you?
Yes. Yes.
Oh,
For
okay.
sure. That's
Yeah.
because
So
everyone
you're-
loves Thursday Night
Well, they have to
Football.
subscribe to Daddy Bezos first. So.
That's right.
I mean, 90% of the U.S. population has Daddy Bezos.
Especially this time of year 'cause it's Christmas gifts. Yeah.
Because Christmas
Or is sharing someone's account, because we know that,
It's a bad
completely
economy. Don't judge people.
completely frowned upon.
Yeah.
But
Legally, we have to frown upon that, but casually,
We don't condone that
understand.
here at Sports Minorities.
completely
Amazon
frowned
Prime
upon.
is like
Wink,
Amazon,
wink.
Yeah.
Amazon Prime is like pumpkin spice. Like low key, we all fucking like it, but we're not gonna just talk about it.
All right.
Speak
That
for
is all
yourself.
true. Speak
No,
for yourself,
Speak
you
for your fucking
lying,
self.
lying. Those are blasphemous
Every day I
words right
question
there.
you with this shit, man. I really do.
Sunday Night Football, Miami at the Los Angeles away team. Chicken Wing, what do you got on this one?
Miami's gonna bounce back. They're gonna take this game.
Is anyone going with the Chargers on this one? Because it's both teams coming off a loss here. So
No, I'm not.
No.
Yeah.
Chargers are still hurt.
Yeah.
They don't have Keenan Allen. No.
Tyreek Hill owns the Chargers. Like, he just, any team he's on, he's just, no.
Alright.
Not gonna do it.
Yep.
Not gonna do it.
He blew up our secondary twice. So no.
Yeah, he did.
All right. Monday night game, New England at Arizona. And Chicken Wing, what do you got on this one?
Pats have a lot more to lose than Arizona does. So Pats are gonna. I'm taking the Pats for their playoff dreams to stay alive.
Yep. Yeah, I like New England in this matchup as well. I don't see Belichick getting a losing record here out of this one, so I'm going with the Patriots to beat the Cardinals on the road in prime time. Rob, what about you?
Call of Duty's due for a patch this week, right?
I don't know.
Possibly.
Haven't found out. I'll look for it though.
Patch notes. Yeah, I think there's a patch this week, so I'm gonna go with New England, because
Damn.
All right, DJ?
Taking the Patriots in this one.
All right, and Nori.
I'm gonna go with the Cardinals.
Ooh, do tell. Why is that?
I like DeAndre Hopkins, and I don't trust the Patriots to be a consistent football team right now.
All right. Interesting. All right, well, those are our predictions for Week 14 of the NFL season. Finally, before we sign off, I want to say the college football playoff is out. There was some chaos this past weekend. TCU lost to Kansas State in overtime. The
USC
Trojans got destroyed by the Utes.
The Utes just had their
USC
number
sucks.
this year.
Yep.
They
USC
owned
sucks.
everyone else in that conference except
I'll
for
say.
Utah.
And so the committee came out. Georgia, of course, beat LSU. They got the number one seed. Michigan beat Purdue, so they kept number 2. TCU, despite the loss, and I think we said this too, if it was a close loss, I don't think they would fall out. And sure enough, they stayed at number 3.
Yeah, overtime. Yeah.
And then Ohio State jumped into the number 4 spot, leaving Alabama and Tennessee as the first 2 teams out. So
Scrubs.
So wait, is this the second year in a row that Alabama's out?
no, Bama was in it last year.
That one was in last year.
They actually lost in the national championship.
They lost.
You're right.
Now,
Apologies.
quick correction on what I said last week, because the way they set the years up on these playoffs, they say, well, it's the 2024 college football playoff. I'm thinking the new year, right? 2024. Turns out we are going to have one more season after this where it's the top 4, and then it will be the top 12 after that.
Yeah, they have to end the contract, don't they?
Say again?
So, just looking at the AP Top 25, if it were to start this year, Penn State and Oregon would be the last.
Yeah, let me. So if they were to start this, so the way it's going to work is when it gets to the 12. So obviously you have the top 6 conference champions, and then the next 6 at-large teams. Now, the top 4 teams, the 4 teams that get a bye, they're all the top 4 conference champions. So, if you were to look at the playoff rankings right now this year, the number 1 team would be Georgia, number 2 team would be Michigan, number 3 would be Clemson, and number 4 would be Utah. Because they're going
because they run, that's right, conference champions.
So they do emphasize conference champions as getting a bye and one of the first 4 seeds. And then after that, you look at the eligible teams and you place them in there accordingly. So you would have TCU at 5, Ohio State at 6, Bama 7, Tennessee 8, Kansas State 9, SC 10, Penn State 11, and then Washington 12. So
bullshit. UTSA should be 12. I'm kidding.
Agreed. Yes, and unfortunately, because Washington would not get in because Tulane won their conference. They would jump that spot, so Tulane would get the number 12 spot.
That's crazy, though.
Yeah. So
we still get ignored. Wow.
Yeah. UTSA did end up 25 in the final college football playoff rankings, but because they magically only take one Group of 5 team into the New Year's Six Bowl, Tulane gets the Cotton Bowl berth. Yeah. So
yeah, strength of schedule, isn't it?
Yeah, strength of schedule. It's how they rank it. The AAC, if you will, is a tougher conference. UTSA could be there next year. As I mentioned, UTSA won their 2nd straight Conference USA championship game. It was awesome experience to be at the game for that one. 41,000 strong. Frank Harris announced today he is coming back for his super senior season, by the way. I think I mentioned that earlier. So he's ready to lead the runners into the AAC next year. And
the way to do it.
That's right. I love it. So I'm sure NIL money speaks a little bit to that too. UTSA will play Troy, who are I believe they're the Sun Belt champions, in the Cure Bowl on December 16th. That's a Friday night. And that is actually the Sun Belt versus the Conference USA champion. And Texas, for those interested, are coming to the Alamo Bowl December 29th against Washington, the same night that the Titans play the Cowboys on Thursday Night Football. Throwing that out there. So
basically no one's watching the Titans, what you're saying?
I mean, I'll be. So
I'll be watching the Cowboys.
Yeah.
So
Dick.
We'll be doing that.
Yeah, so.
Most of the people will be watching the Longhorns play. Sure.
Yeah. So DJ, you coming to town this month, right? Week of the Cowboys Titans game.
Yeah.
Yes.
So some intriguing bowl matchups out there, of course, the New Year's Six bowl games. Cotton Bowl is Tulane versus USC. Rob, you going to go to Dallas to see your Trojans?
I actually might.
Okay.
If I can get tickets, it just depends. Like, without selling an arm and a leg.
Yep. Rose Bowl gets the traditional Pac-12 Big Ten championship matchup. Utah versus Penn State. Sugar Bowl is Alabama versus Kansas State. And the Orange Bowl is literally all orange. Tennessee against Clemson.
Clemson.
I think they need to put a bet on here. Whoever loses this game cannot wear orange for the next season. That'd be
they have to wear like a really jacked up kind of orange.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it is a literal orange bowl on this one. So
like that?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You mean like creamsicle? Something like that?
Yeah.
Oh, next season. Oh, that's right. I can't wait.
Y'all do remember I did say next season I'm just becoming a Rams fan.
I mean, you know what? Could you imagine if they actually got them
this year?
And they have the shitty record? Oh, that'd have been just so great.
I'm just saying, if they go to the Super Bowl with the creamsicle jerseys without Tom Brady, you never know.
You stop that.
Okay, just saying.
Just stop.
Stop that.
Rob will be a fan again.
No, I won't. I will. I will be an LA. I will be an LA fan through and through. Okay. I will be a Clipper. I will be a Charger, and whatever other third teams that I decide to follow because
the Kings.
Oh yeah, you said a Cripper.
Or are you gonna stick with the Kraken?
Clippers.
Clipper. I thought you said Cripper. I was like,
yeah, I was gonna go with all the away teams. So the Clippers, the Chargers.
Yeah, Anaheim, the Ducks,
the Ducks,
Angels.
There you go. See?
Oh, breaking news on the free agent wire, Major League Baseball.
Oh no!
For 11 years and $280 million, Xander Bogaerts has signed with the Padres.
Wow.
Yep.
So then, what is a big four now?
I guess so.
I mean,
Holy shit.
Xander Bogaerts to the Padres for 11 years, $280 million.
Jesus Christ.
Wow.
It's like 25 million a year, give or take.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah.
When they said they were gonna go for broke this year, I didn't think they
Shit.
meant like this broke.
Making themselves broke? Yeah.
Yeah.
I left everyone
Ah.
pieces here, right? So that's interesting. Cool. Well, next week we'll recap how we did week 14 of the NFL season, make our predictions for week 15, and maybe bust out the playoff machine, guys. Now that the bye weeks are going to be over next week. So,
Yes.
yep. We can give our first initial look at the NFL playoff machine, make our predictions, how we think the playoffs are going to end up, and see what other free agent signings happen with the winter meetings for Major League Baseball as well. So, do once again want to thank Tremaine Spears for coming on the podcast this week and giving us a little backstory on his career, and wish him all the best of luck in the draft league. Appreciate it. We hope you'll keep us updated on how things are going for you. Once again, I'm JC, your resident Titans fan and proud UTSA alum. Frank Harris, let's go. Lead us to the AAC. Birds up. And let's do it again, man. I'm so happy you're coming back. It is amazing to watch you play live. And I'm extremely happy, too, because the Roadrunners are hosting the Texas State Bobcats next year in the Alamo Dome. And when I told my wife, a proud Bobcat alum, that Frank Harris was coming back, she was just like, well, fuck. Now our Bobcats don't stand a chance, as she thinks. So, anyway, I'm JC, your host. Joining me this week are...
Chicken wing. Fuck the Titans.
Wow.
Wow. Yeah. Okay.
That was direct.
If the Giants and Washington can tie, I'm hoping that the 49ers and Bucks can tie also. Nobody gets that fun.
Okay.
And on that note, this will be my last year as a Bucks fan. Just throwing this out there because I'm not doing the creamsicle. Nope.
DJ here, and if anyone in the Buccaneers organization is listening, because you're losing a fan, if you could just go ahead and put the creamsicle jerseys on, maybe the last game of the regular season, just so Rob gets it one more time, that'd be amazing. Please and thank you.
Thank you, everyone, for listening to the Sports Minorities podcast. We'll catch you next week. Thanks, everyone, once again for listening to the Sports Minorities podcast. We do appreciate it. If you want to keep the conversation going, we're on Twitter at SportsMinorPod and also on Facebook at Sports Minorities. Our YouTube channel, Sports Minorities. Search on there. We live stream every now and then, just some random stuff. And you can also reach us via email, sports.minorities@gmail.com. We do appreciate you taking the time out of your day to listen to us, and we'll catch y'all next time.
I think I heard, because my headset was pretty loud, that he's a Saints fan.
He is a Saints fan, yes.
I'm sorry about 2 weeks ago.
You heard
That's
that.
all I'm saying.
I'm sorry about my season.
You're right. You're right.